What's up, everyone? Well, here I am, man. You know, backstage of the Illusionists with, man, amazing, amazing performer, magician, entertainer, Dan Sperry. What up?
Hello.
How's things? You alright?
Yes, Brisbane's very nice.
Yes. What do you love in Brisbane? Have you done the South Bank tour yet?
No, I haven't done
Have you done the wheel?
No, we walked past it.
Yeah.
Saw the VIP booth in the wheel. Guess there's VIP one. Supposedly it's tinted so you can get blowjobs in there.
Yeah, exactly. Things can go down there you don't need to know. So, man, you know what? I'm going to get straight to it. So, I want to know, and I think you get the same questions from every other when someone interviews you. I want to know what inspires your creativity, because this is for like people who are actually magicians out there. They've seen all this stuff on YouTube. They've seen your stuff online. I've seen your stuff online. I think you're such a different mix and such a different type of performer. And I've been creative myself. I just want to know how do you come up with your stuff?
Some of it's accidental. Some of it's experimental. You know, most of it I don't seek it. You know, it just kind of comes at a moment, and then you try it and it works. Sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of like that. I think it's when you try it, you try and seek it, you try and force it. It appears forced, and it appears ingenuine, not genuine, ungenuine, whatever. So I think if there's no real method behind it. It's just when you just let go and just be. That's when it happens.
Yeah. And you've been doing like this sort of character. What would you call, in your own words, your style? Like, what's your exact? Like, do you have one, or do you have a?
I don't think so.
No. Just you are.
It just is what it is.
Nice,
yeah.
Man.
It's kind of like a painting. It's just, it's interpretive.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever people want to call it. Yeah.
And how long you've been doing magic for ages, right? But this sort of this style has it evolved over a certain time? Where you used to be like, you didn't used to be like a dove guy and it changed? It's been like sort of the same feel?
Just, I got kind of stereotyped as a dove guy because that's what I kind of went in the rounds with. But I mean, I was doing other material, just nobody knew about it. Of course, that was before YouTube, so you don't have, YouTube's really young in the scope of the internet, so, prior to YouTube, it was harder to see videos of what other material people did, so. So no, it was just always there. Where I grew up when I was younger and starting, there wasn't opportunity to perform in this style. Yeah. This is who I was off stage, and then on stage I'd be somebody else to sort of be acceptable in the market just to get shows.
Definitely.
And then as I got a little bit older, late teens, I was able to introduce more of who I am off stage, on stage, and that helped. But,
that's
being
awesome, man.
14, 15, and whatnot, how I was off stage with where I was with my friends and whatever, this is how we dressed. This was the clique or whatever the group I was in school. But to be on stage, I had to comb my hair and, put on a suit or something just because I wouldn't be able to do shows. I'd be a guy sitting in my bedroom in front of a mirror, and I wouldn't be able to get experience, and I wouldn't be able to grow as a performer. So.
And I think that you guys can see that's really important. Like, Dan's got his style, and he just does it. It's who he is. You don't fake who you're not. It seems like to me.
Yeah, I've always felt that if it's too scripted, if it's too much of a character, I think the audience can sense it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they can sense when you're, again, just not being genuine.
Yeah, definitely.
About your performance, especially like you maybe seen shows where guys get heckled and they can't handle a heckler because the heckler obviously knows they're vulnerable, and so it's almost like having a glitch in the matrix. Like there's a glitch, and I think the audience picks up and they might see like, oh, he just dropped character or something. If you're yourself, you'll never drop character. So that's kind of how I.
And how do you find working with because magic's a little bit seclusive, a little bit by yourself. How do you find working with other illusionists on tour? And I know you've done stuff with a lot of different guys of the world. So
yeah, no, this one's actually really good. Yeah. That's why I think we've stuck together. That's why I think not many of them have been replaced. Yeah. Only one got replaced. And this is just a good, solid group
clip
of professionals. Yeah, nobody. It's all for the good of the show. Yeah. It's not for a egotistical thing, whereas other, collective shows in the past I've done, there's been some real fucking assholes there.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just makes it unpleasant. I think the audience can sense it too. Again, I don't know, not to sound like weird, spiritual or whatever, but I think the audience picks up on that vibe. I think they can tell if, when we're on stage together, if we're not doing anything together, like when we stand in the line, I think they know nobody's, trying to fucking whatever, get it. We're all just there for the show, for the audience.
Entertaining audience. Yeah. And speaking of audiences, come on, you must have a great story. Like, you just must have some. Have you had any killer stories so far, like touring with the Illusionist show? Any interesting audience members or funny stories on stage, or someone shouts out anything?
No, I mean, nothing too crazy. When we were just in Adelaide, I do a version of Russian roulette. Yeah. And there was a really good girl on stage with the best one ever. I mean, you could, physically see her trembling. And she at one point said that she thought she was going to throw up, and we thought she was going to pee herself.
Wow.
Which is also, tough, because as good and fun and refreshing as that was for maybe us, being the crew and stuff, to be able to see, because they watch it every day too. But it was tough because the audience, you have to be careful, because what I was doing could almost come across as cruel, because there's, the audience doesn't know that I'm in control. Yeah. And I know what's going on. So, it could almost come across like I was torturing her.
Yeah, definitely.
But I didn't, so it's a fine line.
It's a fine line. I find that interesting, man, definitely. Yeah. And call to action. So, Facebook, social media. What do you want to pump,
bro? Just Facebook is fine. Everything, Facebook jumps to everything else. Yeah. It's just...
redirects.
Yeah. There's 8 or 10 fake ones, so the real one...
I saw a couple of those online. Yeah.
They're not me. The real one is if you just go on your web browser and type www.dansperryonfacebook.com. That points you to the official page.
Awesome. Well, Dan, really nice meeting you, man. Thanks for joining the crew. Good luck to everyone out all in the world. Big shout out to everyone.
Yep.
Thanks again, man.